The Ender 2 went together nice last night. Unfortunately, Twitch killed the stream with about 20 minutes to go. It kept buffering last night and freezing. It was creating all sorts of problems for me, and end up by the time I quit streaming, it was like 20 minutes behind. It was crazy, and then it just killed the stream. So I wasn't able to finish up and show you everything. So my original plan was to take the EU plug and basically replace it, put a different one on, and cut off the end of a regular computer connector and put it on there. But I was thinking this morning of something else, and instead of that, I'm using a normal computer end. It's going into the switch, and it actually works. So I'll just show you that this will fire up. I want to be very careful because I have lots of hot ends here going on. Do not want to touch any of those bad things. There we go. So you can see the printer has come up. You can see the lights here. Press that, and I can see why a lot of people have said to print a deal to pull the display up. It's kind of a pain in the butt where it's at now. So I homed it earlier, but actually let's move Z first. So I gotta figure out which direction these go. So that, you can see that works. The X works. And the Y, you can see it there in the background. It's working. So it works. It went together pretty easily. I think my whole stream lasted an hour, and basically last night's stream ended when I got this together, and then as I was talking about other things. There are a few weaknesses that I've discovered with this. I'm going to end up doing some updates on it. You know, a lot of these Chinese printers, out of the box, they may work okay, but really to make them shine, you want to print some updates. Thankfully, I've got some other printers that I can print nice looking updates on. I have no doubt that this could print them itself. But the first thing I'm going to print is something to replace all of this, because that's just a disaster waiting to happen. Speaking of which, I think I'm going to kill it right now. There we go. I really don't like live wires running. So the first thing I'm going to do is do that. I'm going to show you a couple things here. Never done this before, so bear with me. I've got a collection out here of Ender pieces and parts that I'm going to probably print. I know I'm going to print some. Right now I'm going to put this on my Delta. This is actually something from the Tivo Tarantula world. It's a power box that'll go on the end of that, and it actually, when you put it together, the plug-in will go right here, and these two slots here are actually for XT60, I think, adapters. So it'll be plug and play. It'll be kind of nice. From there, and I'll basically cut the wires that go to the Creality, and then solder on those new ends, and basically I'll have my power plug, or the power box will come right off. Kind of nice. On top of that, I'm going to do some cable strain relief. I've heard that this is an issue, so that's in my queue to print. I kind of like the look of these knobs. There's a few different knobs out there. There's a front and back, because the back doesn't have a lot of clearance. But I think I'm going to leave my back the way it is, because it doesn't sound like knobs will actually get you a whole lot of extra space. So I'm going to keep that. I'm going to print a filament guide of some sort. I'm not sure exactly which one, but I'm going to do something. And I've heard that this does not have cooling, which is a problem for part cooling. I don't like having an always-on fan going on, which is like this one here. This one will cool your hot end, but it also cools your part immediately. I like to not have the fan for the first layer. So this piece here, this is an Ender 2 and CR10 Fang. If it works fine here, I'm actually going to print 2 of these, and I'll put one on my CR10, because the CR10 does have part cooling, but it's really not very good. I have real problems with creating bridging, so I'm going to probably print 2 of these, assuming the first one on the Ender works fine. And I may end up printing this LCD bracket, because it really needs it. I think that the flat display actually is kind of problematic for this, and this is just a cute idea, putting a little tool tray between the rail and the power box, because let's face it, that is kind of wasted space there, and it actually kind of recovers that space. So I think that's some of the stuff I'm going to do. I wouldn't be too surprised if I do print this too, this carry handle. I have a feeling the Ender will actually not stay in place as much at my house. Like I said, I'm going to print miniatures after I try that. I think my daughter's probably going to end up printing with this more than I do, in all honesty, because, you know, she's a little geek girl, and she wants to get into engineering, so she could design up stuff and print it on here, you know, some small prototypes, and if she really needs to, then she can move over to my big printers. But I think all in all, this, by giving her a printer, she can have fun with it. So, like I said, there's some upgrades that I recommend doing. With how mine is set up right now, you really don't want to leave the you really don't want to leave this open like this, because this really is a disaster waiting to happen. And you saw that, you know, my first print that I'm going to do, it's going to be that new power end, or the end that'll go over the power brick, and then 2 leveling screws. Like I said, I'm going to leave, I think, the back leveling screw. Kind of sucks, because that's going to be the hardest one to get to, but on the flip side, I think I'd rather mess with it running into things. So that's basically where I'm at with this. Like I said, it went together fine last night. Didn't have any problems. Fought with my biggest issues. I really just fought with the service with Twitch TV. So I'm hoping it's going better now. I actually don't have Twitch open right now. I'm just recording this really quick. We're already up over 7 minutes, which is longer than I planned. But yeah. Oh, one weird thing that I had is I don't think that my Bowden tube adapter was tapped originally for my for the Bowden tube. I think I ended up tapping that while screwing it in. I don't know if that was on video or not. That was kind of weird. I wasn't a big fan of how that was done. But yeah, otherwise, it went together well. It went together easily. If I hadn't been doing it online and explaining as I was going on, or, you know, kind of mumbling along, you know, since I'm talking to myself most of the time, I probably could have gotten it done about 15 minutes quicker. So probably about 45 minutes last night, maybe even a little quicker than that. It really is. It says it's 7 parts, but they don't really talk about some of the stuff. If I recall, the power is on the back side of the instructions, and the instructions are kind of, you know, they're there. Yeah, they're not the greatest instructions, but it's pretty straightforward, because this is a pretty straightforward build. There was one thing that I had some issues with. Oh, I don't know if it's on my other video, but plugging in the Z limit switch, you have to take it apart to put this in. It was kind of ridiculous. It was actually really ridiculous. And there's actually, you can't really see it. I noticed there's a hole at the bottom of the Z limit bracket, and I wasn't sure what that was, and there's also a big screw, and after I figured it out, that bolt actually goes into the end of the extrusion, and the Z this Z plate is actually held on by 2 T-nuts and that bolt in the bottom. So the Z is pretty darn secure on this. So that's what's going on. I hope to get that upgraded tomorrow. I guess I could point down there. Hope to get that upgraded tomorrow. as soon as I get off here, I'm going to put I'm going to start the Delta printer and start getting that printed. And then probably my next print after those two is going to be the Fang cooling fan. It says that it's the one that I found that I'm going to print. They say that it's a duplicate of the one for the TiVo Tarantula, and I will admit my TiVo Tarantula can bridge like it's just amazing how well it bridges. So it's kind of an issue for me. Oh, I guess I could show one other thing. If this will, so this is a small bed, and most of what I do on this channel is about wargaming and wargaming pieces and terrain. So I thought I would see how if this could print some terrain that I'd recently printed off, and I was actually pleasantly surprised that the stuff will fit. If you look here, this is a piece from the Warlayer 2 terrain Kickstarter, and it's this really cool ball. This was just actually released, I think, this week. Actually, I know it was released this week. Actually, on my channel, I've got a time lapse of this printing. This thing is beautiful for a terrain piece. It's just gorgeous. Another piece of Warlayer terrain that I happen to have here that I put on here, it's the VAT, which is pretty awesome looking. It'll print right on there as well. There's these little pieces here that you can kind of see the light. I didn't actually turn on my lights. I probably should have. Forgot. Sorry. They actually show, you can print those and they'll go in the ends. It's kind of nice looking. And what's actually really cool with this, which it won't fit on there and do, I don't know if this is too close or not. This actually will sit on top of each other. Let's see what's back with that. That'll actually, hopefully, if you don't do what I just did and make it like cattywampus, they'll actually sit on top of each other like so. So that's kind of cool looking, I think. Be able to put that on there. I'm hoping at some point to put so one of my suggestions, which is probably going to be too difficult right now for him, maybe Warlayer 3, hopefully. There's two things I wouldn't mind seeing. I wouldn't mind seeing a catwalk up here, which probably wouldn't be too badly doable. And then he's got another piece that fits on here, and it's a catwalk that goes above this piece of terrain. It's a vat, it's got goop in it. I wouldn't mind seeing one like this with the hole. This hole here is where you can put a pipe out of the bottom and mount it on top of that, make it kind of like a cage that you can put stuff through. When I'm printing this, what I'm envisioning playing is Necromunda. I ended up getting that for Christmas this year. So I'm really hoping to be able to use this terrain for Necromunda. So kind of rambling there. Sorry about that if you're just looking for information on the Ender 2. But if you want to get a little bit more, this is what I plan on doing with it overall. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed watching the live build yesterday. I hope you liked my solution here. I totally forgot about this. I was originally going to mount this on my TiVo Tarantula and never got around to it. It's directly hooked up to the power like this was supposed to be. But instead, I just realized I could just plug anything into there. Any of this style of computer plug, which being an IT guy, I kind of have quite a few that I've collected over the years. So that's it. Thanks again to Gearbest for sending the Ender 2 out. I'm looking forward to actually getting it printing tomorrow once I get some of this safety issue figured out. Have a great day. Well, I guess I probably should say I'm Kevin Rank from MakerFun3D. So visit my site, makerfun3d.com. I do have specials, and I try to keep up to date. I do some reviews. I don't do a ton, but I do some reviews. And also on a day-to-day basis, I try to keep up with the latest specials through Amazon, AliExpress, Gearbest, Banggood at times, and eBay and other online retailers. Just this is an expensive hobby. I'm assuming that people want to save money. I put affiliate links up because I figure if you're going to spend money at a store anyways, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't cost you any more, And if I'm putting in the work to find this stuff, I hope that you appreciate enough to purchase through my site or purchase through one of my links, so I get a small kickback. I don't make a lot, but hopefully if I get a lot of little orders, it adds up over time. So thanks again for joining, and have a great day.